Ultimately, I think everyone that comes to me, and a lot of men in general and a lot of people in general, they do, I love financial concepts because that's my brain works in basketball terms and financial concepts. And so compound interest is big for me. The notion of inflation is big for me. Auditing is a big concept that I love, and it's a foundational part of my coaching and my program. We don't audit. We don't stop and take stock of what's going on in our life. Companies audit. If you're a public company, you're reporting numbers quarterly. I used to trade distressed and bankrupt companies. Those companies have to report monthly to their creditors. They have a monthly operating report. So like sales teams meet weekly. I was part of a daily morning research meeting. I'm still a notebook guy. I would take my notebook and I'd go to the morning meeting and I would write. We would talk about it as a team. The traders would talk, the sales guys would talk, the research analysts would talk, everyone moving towards one common goal. What's working, what's not working. Individuals don't do that. We sort of proverbially throw shit up against the wall every morning or every Monday or on the weekends or on January 1st or whatever. And we hope something's going to stick. Instead of, the analogy I use a lot of times, we all get in the car and put the GPS on. Waze is popular here, right? And so I get in the car, I put where I want to go into the GPS. It tells me the route to take. It needs to know two things, right? In order to know the best way to get there. It needs to know the destination, and it knows where I'm starting from because of where the phone is or whatever.
Yeah.
What we forget about as human beings is we don't ever consider where we're starting from. We say, I want Trevor's business. I want to look like Brian. I want to do this. And then we just start to do stuff. And some of those things are good habits. They might be good things to implement into our life, but are they all really tailored and specific and the best things for you to be doing? Because inevitably what happens is, as Mike Tyson says, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And
exactly.
How many times have we gotten punched in the face in this calendar year alone, And so in order for the GPS analogy, in order for this whole thing to work, you have to understand where you're starting from. And I don't think enough people stop and take stock of where am I right now? Like, how bad is it? We don't always want to acknowledge it. How bad is it? Instead of going to the gym 7 days a week when I'm going 0, could I take a 20-minute walk every day for the next week? Could I drink water every morning? Could I add like a vegetable to each meal? Could I swap one meal out instead of doing a juice cleanse for 7 days? Could I just upgrade one meal? Could I go to bed a half hour earlier and wake up a half hour earlier instead of like overhauling this, and instituting this crazy morning routine that you ditch 4 days in? And so we don't ever really consider where we're at. And then along the way, we don't stop and go, okay, how's this working out for you? And go, okay, what's working? Should we do more of that? What's not working? Is it the plan? Is it my expectations? Is it my compliance? Is it my motivation? Things like that. And then, that's part of that audit process in between. That's kind of, to stick with this little GPS thing I got going on. You get in the car, it tells you to go straight for a mile and then make a right. You make a left at that intersection. The GPS doesn't go, Trevor, you are an idiot. What is wrong with you? Yeah. Go home, quit, turn the car around. The trip is over. It doesn't do that, right? And I'm being dramatic. It doesn't do that. It reroutes. It says, okay, it might take you a little longer to get there, but it reroutes. And what do we do as human beings? We go, you're an idiot. You go home. We proverbially go home. And so, the audit process for us as human beings, I think, is a critical one in anything that we're trying to do, and especially when we're trying to improve maybe our health, our fitness, our relationships with our wives, our partners, kids, reducing vices, all those sorts of things.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch the full unedited episode, go ahead and click over here. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Thanks so much.